Today we are taking a look at a small ultra-budget lens that has something to say, the Pergear 25mm f1.7 for the Fuji X mount. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk all things photography. I am Aris and today we are taking a deep dive into the Pergear 25mm f1.7. Also, I should mention that Pergear sent me this lens for review, but they're not sponsoring this video. I am actually allowed to say whatever I want for this lens, so I will be as objective as I can. First off, let's talk about the build quality. The Pergear 25mm f1.7 features a full metal body which gives it a robust and premium feel. Weighing in at just 200 grams, it's incredibly lightweight and compact, making it an excellent choice for travel and street photography. The focus ring is smooth and it gives you a nice balance between how tight it is and how precise it is. Of course, there is no electronic autofocus here in this lens. However, for many photographers, including me, this is a welcomed feature because by manual focusing, you are more precise into what you're focusing. The experience of photography becomes more intimate, and at the same time, it is a very nice exercise that can actually make you a better photographer. If you are one of those people that actually welcome the manual focusing in a lens, hit the like button right now. Now let's get into the performance. The Pergear 25mm f1.7 has a bright maximum aperture which allows room for decent low light performance and beautiful background blur or bokeh. The colors coming out of this lens are vibrant, however the images are not the sharpest I have ever seen, at least at the widest apertures. I did a series of tests to see how the lens performs in different conditions, and if you are one of those that enjoy seeing vigorous testing in lenses, hit the subscribe button below and the bell because we have a lot more of that coming to the channel very soon. As you can see in the photos, the lens is quite soft at f1.7. The contrast is not as pronounced until you go up to aperture f2.8 and beyond. However, the lens handles chromatic aberration and distortion alright, of course given its low price point. It does have some vignetting, but it is not a massive issue on this lens. One of the standout features of this lens and the main reason why you would buy it is its focal length. The 25mm focal length, which is equivalent to a 37 approximately focal length on a cropped sensor, it is quite good if you want to capture wider scenes, but also being able to focus in subjects and not have chaotic scenes in your images. And this makes it perfect for landscape photography, of course, because this is a situation where you don't really need the autofocus. You can perfectly focus manually and take your shots in perfect focusing. And also it makes it really good for street photography as well, because for street photography you want this sort of wider focal length, this 37mm focal length, to be able to be close to your scene, close to your subjects and capture the action. Of course, for street photography the autofocus might be necessary in certain scenes. However, very often I enjoy shooting manual focus even in autofocus lenses, because then I have full control over what I'm actually focusing at and what I'm actually shooting. Now, where I wouldn't really use it, it's portraiture, because for portraits I like autofocus. I like the camera to be able to pick where it will focus, to pick the eye and give me this perfect focus on the eye. With the manual focusing, sometimes you might end up missing that. The negatives of the lens overall is that, yes, of course, it doesn't have autofocus. We've talked about that. If you buy this lens, you buy it knowing that it's a manual focus lens and knowing that you might need some practice to be able to focus properly. It lacks all those fancy features like weather sealing. It doesn't have any of that as far as I know. So you won't be able to shoot in the rain. I mean, you will be able to shoot in the rain, but you will have to add extra protection to the lens and your camera, because otherwise you might end up messing either the lens or even worse the camera, which is in this case much more expensive. And finally, it lacks a nice lens hood, which in this case might be quite important because this lens has quite a lot of solar flaring, especially when you're shooting against bright light. Now let's talk about the price. The Pergear 25mm f1.7 comes at a decent price of $80 or probably around £60, 67 pounds, something like that. You will find the price here. So it is a fun option if you want to expand your lens collection without breaking the bank. So what is the verdict for this lens? I mean, this is an interesting one because it's a manual focus lens. It's a lens that obviously lacks a lot of the features and the comforts that we are used to in modern lenses, but it's a budget lens. It's not a very expensive lens. So I think, as I said before, it's a fun lens to use. And I would recommend it for people that either just starting out and they want to play about with different focal lengths and they don't want to break the bank, or I would actually recommend it to people that haven't used manual lenses before and they want to get into the world of manual focusing without breaking the bank. Because I think a lens like that can actually teach you a lot and help you improve how you're focusing and how you're taking the photos, even when you're shooting with other autofocus lenses. So I would recommend to pick a lens like that up and use it a lot and exercise the distance from your subjects, the type of photos you can get with manual focusing, so you can basically become faster in focusing or even understand how the lenses are focusing. So if you're interested in picking up this lens, I'll have some links down in the description. They're not affiliated links, I'm not getting any kickback from those. So if you just want to go and have a look, you can find them down there. It's for your own interest. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel with the bell to not miss any of the future videos, and thank you very much for watching, guys. Until next time, I will see you on the streets. Bye bye.